What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to the CHGO Bulls Podcast, coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck, Big Dave, BAWL Sports, Will the Go Godly, Will_Godly, our pal producer on the controls, the one and only
Chatty.
Young Joseph Spathis.
Oh, Chatty Spathis.
Chatty
Spathis.
Jersey Joe.
Joey Red Vest.
Joey Red Vest.
Joey Blue Vest. So many. 21 Joey.
Hope everybody had a great weekend. We were off yesterday because of the CHGO Kickoff Classic. Hope everybody golfed well.
Yes.
You guys were there.
Yes,
but you weren't golfing.
Yes, we were not. I don't know why the GOAT wasn't golfing.
Dave pulls up and he's wearing, of course, the Pippen jersey, of course, the bucket hat.
Of course.
Just pulls up, starts driving
Same
around
bucket
the golf
hat from
cart,
Vegas,
taking videos, just absolutely in his element.
I was having a ball. People wanted to talk to me. So
he had golf courses.
He had
pretty
a drink
places
in
to hang
each
out.
hand.
Yeah.
If you're not like mad about being bad at golf and you're just driving around in a golf cart.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Shout out to the guy who was representing Penrose, who was out there with the seltzers and stuff like that. Because every time he saw me, he was like, all right. I'm like, dude, come on.
I noticed you're having a Penrose earlier.
Because I didn't realize they were in the fridge.
So you liked it, clearly.
It was pretty good. I told him there. I was like, these are pretty good. I'll drink another one. They're not, on the Coors Light or Miller Lite level. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but these are good. You know what I mean? These are good.
Wait, I didn't see the outcome of the competition on hole 2. Last I checked, Braggs was the closest to the pin.
He won.
Did he win?
He won.
That is crazy.
I still don't understand how Braggs played a round of golf with 2 broken ACLs.
He had his Tiger Woods moment.
He had 0 ACLs, 2 torn meniscuses.
Yes.
And he won a golf competition
and was talking
played
plenty
holes.
crap. Like he was special. He was special that
I
day.
ran into him at like one of the, the little like house or whatever where they were selling drinks and food and stuff.
Flex.
And I went over to say what's up, and he was like, "Can I get you something to drink?" And I was like, "I'm not golfing, Braggs. It's 10 a.m. I'm good."
Me when I pulled up,
he's like, "You don't like fun?"
Look, I pulled up, and I was like, as soon as I walked in, I was like, "Oh, there's a bar." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, well,
that's
how
like
you doing?"
how I treat Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
I cracked a beer at 10:30 a.m. every day we were in Vegas.
Right when I pulled up, I was like, "Yep, there's the bar right there." Hey, yes, hand that to me. Oh, I can get it to go? Great. Thank you very much. They put a lid on it. And then I found out, Will told me, actually, there was another place like right there where you can get some food and you can get some more drinks and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I was like,
I love golf.
Yeah, golfing is all right. I didn't swing one club, but I was out there balling. Shout out to Lawrence, who also was out there looking like a real golfer as well, man. Had the proper shirt and everything.
We should be a foursome, and we can just be trash golfers together.
Oh my God! It would be the best, worst golfing outing ever.
But we'd be terrible together. So
that's my point. Yeah. It'll be terrible. It'll be horrible. Like, oh my God, the shots would be stupid. A lot of mulligans will be taken for sure, but drinks will be had.
Can I just throw a frisbee golf disc towards the pin? And then, like, if I land it over the hole where the golf ball goes, that counts the same?
You're such a college white guy. You played frisbee golf.
Bring your hacky sack.
That was amazing.
I mean, is that not the most on-brand thing?
Yes, it is. That's fair. That's fair.
Be true to yourself.
Did you guys play frisbee golf?
I've played it one time.
Okay.
I played ultimate frisbee in high school. We've been
ultimate frisbee.
Yeah,
okay, that counts too.
But
okay.
Top 6 in state, so
okay.
we weren't fucking around.
That word. Troy Young's like, what's going on? This is the show, Troy. Welcome to the off season.
Yeah,
hey,
we do have a lot to get to on today's show. Weird big announcement from the Reinsdorf and Wirtz families about a $7 billion little project that they are cooking up to expand and sort of give a shot in the arm to the United Center's West Side neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about that. The Bulls official team Twitter account told Jerry to sell the team today, so that was funny. I'm just going along with what the Bulls said today.
That's what it happened.
But before that, a little bit of Bulls news on a couple of different fronts. Also want to touch on Josh Giddey and how he's looked in the exhibition games Australia has played. Sure. But we begin with this. The Bulls announced over the weekend the team has signed DJ Steward. Pardon me. I got Dorito dust caught in my throat.
Ooh, Dorito dust. You need to embrace chill.
I do. Two-way contract. Stewart, of course, coming off of a strong showing in all of their Summer League games, but especially that Game 4, the OT win against Atlanta, where he not only had the game-winning bucket for the Bulls in OT, but that was 2 of his 37 points on the night when he caught fire from 3. Mm-hmm. Played all of last season for Boston's G League team, the Maine Celtics, averaged 19 points, 5 boards, 4.5 dimes per game. I think a lot of Bulls fans, especially after that 37-point outing, were saying, hey, we've got a roster spot, a two-way roster spot. Please use it on this guy because the two-way spots have not been super fruitful over the last couple of years.
Yeah, when we talked about him a few days ago, and it was more of a plea for me of them not to pass on talent. And I don't care what position he plays or whatever. I don't care if you think you're stocked at that position. Stop passing on talent. Stop doing that. You don't pass on a dude that carried you to a victory, an overtime victory, who dropped like 35 and hit over 4 threes. Like, he was awesome in that game, and he was awesome this entire Summer League as well. I like the fact the Bulls did this. I like that they didn't wait on it.
Yeah.
I like that they made it immediate. Like, nope, you're signed. Here's your two-way contract. Put your jersey on. You are rolling with the Chicago Bulls. I appreciate them for recognizing the talent and simply choosing talent. Of course, there are things in his game he has to work on, but you can't deny what you saw out there on the floor and what he was doing and how he was impacting the game every time he played, Will.
Yeah, and I think, like, it's just, like, you have to put this in perspective of what the contract that they're giving him is, right? Sure. They're putting him on a two-way contract. Last year, the two-way players almost didn't play. They were with the Windy City Bulls. They played mostly in Hoffman Estates. Batim, who was on a two-way, got promoted. And then that opened the way for Andrew Funk to come in and get his 2-year contract on a two-way that he still has. Batim got promoted. Henry Gel played like brief minutes at the end of the season. Adama Sanogo played a few minutes, obviously had the 2020 game against the Wizards when everybody else was sitting. And so, like, the Bulls aren't really, like, utilizing these spots as guys who are going to play a lot. Yeah. It's really, like, developmental flyers. And I like Stewart from the perspective that he's younger. He's 22 years old. He's obviously got a lot of scoring potential. I'm not saying he's going to, like, come in and be somebody who scales up to being, like, a primary ball handler at the NBA level. Correct. That maybe doesn't happen, but that's okay. I think he can be a productive scorer in the G League, and I think that helps some of the younger guys, as we talked about last week. That can be helpful for some of your younger guys if they want to go play down there, where he's creating a little bit more attention, changing the way the defense has to guard, helping them get into shots. I mean, he averaged, I don't have the number up, but he was like getting 7, 8, 9 assists in some of these games in Summer League. So I like the signing. I also obviously just have a soft spot for guys from Oak Park because that's where I grew up. So it's cool to see him make it to that level. And I can't wait to talk to him about that. But I think that, like, it's okay if this guy doesn't turn into a superstar. It's very difficult for your two-way contracts to become that. But I think that he could be a good player. He's obviously a very creative scorer as a smaller guard. That's going to kind of lower his ceiling as a player. But it's cool to me that, you know, that the Bulls went after him in this way because I think it's a shot on talent. And that's what they should be doing with these two-way spots. Even if he doesn't end up being somebody who contributes at the NBA level, some teams are, you know, they prioritize that more than others. Sure. But I think you just want to keep talent in-house and try to develop him as best you can and hope for the best.
That part right there. You want to keep your talent in-house and keep these guys kind of on your team. And there's nothing that he did that said we should move this guy or get rid of this guy or allow another team, you know what I'm saying, to come up on him.
Got to imagine some teams who were at their, you know, out there in the desert watching some of the games were like, yo, this DJ Stewart guy
licking
is nice.
Their chops, waiting for this guy right there to come in. It reminded me of a guy like Chris Dunn. It honestly did, because Chris Dunn is dominant on one side of the basketball, and that's the defensive side. Well, where is he? Still in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? He fell out the NBA for a minute, but now he's back in the NBA. Chris Dunn. Give me the shout, Matt. Yes. But he's
19%.
back.
6 fouls.
4 turnovers. But he's back in the NBA. You know, he's still getting an opportunity strictly because he had that somebody believe in him and he had that chance. But when he left the Bulls, that's what he did. He went to the G League on a few other teams, and then he found his way back. This guy is a talent. Like, when you're scoring 37 points in a game, it's a talent.
Yeah.
So you want to, cultivate that. You want to grow that and see if it could be something that your team can actually use down the road.
And the confidence was, look, I rattled off his G League stats for the Maine Celtics last season. The guy clearly can score, but like every time the Hawks, the Summer League Hawks went under a screen on him in that one game in particular, he was like, "Oh, you're going under the screen? Okay, cool." Cash.
Barry.
Like that's confidence. That's a confident player who knows that they can put the ball in the bucket.
Right.
Our friend Julius saying, DJ. Go ahead, Will.
He also really had that like James Harden double step back move that was cooking. And then I thought he was able to put pressure on the rim. And like, obviously as a small guard, like I said, you're going to have a ceiling. But I think if you can pull up over screens for 3, hit step backs and get to the rim, like you're in a good position, and then you just got to make plays.
That's fair.
Colin in the comments saying, I'm pumped too. An actual sensible signing. Yay. Those are a nice, fun change of pace, aren't they?
Aren't they?
Well, and then that was the other thing, and I hope you can clear this up, Will, because in the Bulls press release officially announcing signing Stewart to this 2-way contract, they mentioned at the end, Chicago's roster count now stands at 19, including 3 players under 2-way contracts, that being Andrew Funk, still, why, gross, Adama Sanogo, and DJ Steward. So a 15-man roster and 3 2-ways. That, by my math, and I am no mathematician, is 18. Why does it say in the press release the roster stands at 19? Do they have one extra?
I believe they gave Marcus Domask a Exhibit 10 contract.
Oh,
so he's on
okay.
like a training camp deal.
So that is included in that 19 number.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Smart.
Yeah. Smart man.
Breathe, Matt. Breathe.
Why is Andrew Funk still here? We all watched him play in Vegas.
Got a weird
again.
shot.
But that's the thing with these 2-way spots is like they don't impact your cap. So what they should be doing is get this guy in the building, see what it looks like for a handful of games, see what it looks like in training camp, and if he's not looking good, move on from him, because why not? You like what those spots should be used for is like trying to find diamonds in the rough, cycling in, 19-year-olds to see if they can pop. And like even DJ Steward, who's 22, is a little bit old for what I would want to use on that 2-way spot. So it's better than Funk and Drell because those guys are 24. But I agree with you. I don't see the value in using one of those spots for Drell for Funk because he's not going to play in NBA games.
He's not.
He's proven he's not good enough even in the summer league.
He's not.
And like, it's nice to have those kind of spot up shooters, but that would have been really useful last year. Bulls aren't trying to like add spacing for DeMar DeRozan this year.
Correct.
They got to play their younger guys. And right now, like if you look at their core, it's like Patrick is 22, Kobe is 24, Io is 24, Giddy is 21, Modest is 19. Like Funk is older than all those guys. This is a trial. This is like a tryout period for a guy who's older than your young core of players. So to me, that doesn't make any sense. I would expect that the Bulls move on from him before the end of the year. I would just do it now because, I mean, as long as you have somebody else to replace him, it's just, to me, that's not a good use of that roster spot. Right. And you may say, okay, well, it's your 18th man on a 2-way. Every person counts.
It's still just due diligence of the job.
Every player counts.
Yeah.
That is the job.
That's the job.
It's a lot easier to like say, okay, yeah, let's sign Paul George to a max contract. Let's give Patrick Williams an extension. The hard part is finding the diamonds in the rough. And you can't just like excuse yourself from doing that because you've got Andrew Funk.
You can't just fill in a spot and be like, wait, great, that spot's filled. Yeah. Good job filling that spot, Andrew Funk. We're going to let you keep filling it for a while longer. The league introduced these 2-way contracts a few years ago, added a third one, last season. Yeah. You now have 3 additional spots to do some internal in-house scouting and keep those chairs moving. Musical chairs of your scouting department. Why, when you learn a guy is not an NBA player, do you keep him around? I'm happy they signed Stewart. I'm glad they had a spot open for him. Yeah. What if they didn't?
Don't hurt yourself. It didn't happen that way, Matt. Don't hurt your brain. Let's go to a break. Let's do the break.
Okay. Still plenty more ahead, including talking about these exhibition games ahead of the Paris Olympics, which kick off, I believe, this Friday night. opening ceremonies. The basketball competition is going to be insane. I can't wait for Olympic basketball. Great teams everywhere. That's coming up on the other side, including what Josh Giddey looks like. But first,
Ray! CDJR. Make Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram your number one draft pick this summer to find the perfect new car for you. This July, shop a wider selection of vehicles at Ray CDJR and score new lower prices across their huge inventory, make this the summer sales event. For a limited time. Lease a new 2024 Jeep Compass Latitude Luxe for only $189 a month or shop 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. Let the amazing team at Ray CDJR help you land the perfect vehicle at the perfect price, because with Ray's Price Promise, the numbers you're hearing now are the same prices you can expect to shop in store and online. That's because Ray's Price Promise means no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees ever. Since they prioritize affordability for their customers, hurry to Ray CDJR today and shop one of Chicago's largest inventories. Then drive home with more money in your hip pocket than you'd expect. So, if you're in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, because they are the only team that we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. And for more information, visit Ray CDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com. Serving the community since 1963. Come on, Kev.
CHGO Bulls also brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks, America's number one daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members.
That's a lot.
Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're not battling those weirdos in their basements with their spreadsheets and their algorithms, the people that don't have a life. No. No. That's not what I said. All you have to do is pick more than or less than on anywhere from 2 to 6 different player stat projections on the game that you're stoked to watch that day or that night, and watch your winnings roll in, because you're smart and you know which stats are getting put up by which players. You can get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. Win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks for the game you're watching. You can turn $10 into $1,000. And if you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has you covered every week. From lowering select player stat projections to give you a little advantage on Tuesdays to help your lineup hit, or getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup. That perk comes to you on Fridays. And look, us NBA hoops junkies, yeah, the NBA season's over. We're making do.
Yes.
We still got, we just got a nice dose of Summer League. We're still watching, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky kicking butt.
Flexing.
Shout out to her.
Shout out.
Fun stuff, All-Star Weekend.
True.
That girl is a star man.
Beast.
I am so happy Chicago got her.
Yes.
My goodness. And then also, Prize Picks is doing these Olympic Games. So you can have some fun on Prize Picks. By the way, those free squares that Prize Picks does for your needing 4 stat projections to hit to get your money, they're giving you a LeBron over 0.5 points in the USA basketball's first game.
What?
Yeah. So if LeBron scores un punto,
Spat this number.
there's a free spot for you on your Prize Picks if you want to fill one out for the USA's first game. So what are you waiting for? Get in on the action. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code CHGO, and you will get a first-time deposit match up to $100. That's code CHGO. First deposit up to $100 match. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Okay, so speaking of these Paris Olympic Games coming up, couple of exhibition games that Australia has played in. One against the USA that actually was going down while we were out in Vegas.
Yes.
For Summer League, we caught a good chunk of that game. They also played against Nikola Jokic and Serbia. So, Team Australia lost a tight one to USA. 98-92 was the final. But they look good against Team USA.
They did.
Who has had a couple of tight exhibition games.
Tight.
They needed a significant comeback against South Sudan. Shout out Carly Jones, Bulls legend. Then in that USA Australia exhibition game, Josh Giddey put up 17 points on 7 of 18 shooting, but also chipped in 8 boards and 7 dimes. Yeah. And there were people in our comments while we were talking about Summer League and Modest Buzelas being like, well, what about Josh Giddey? So, what about Josh Giddey? Should Bulls fans put any weight into these, and these are just exhibition games so far, but then also, like, we're expecting this Australia team to be pretty competitive. Like, Patty Mills, I think, dropped a near 40-point game for them in their exhibition win over Serbia.
Yeah.
I think
they've got a squad.
I think that tells you everything you need to know.
It's the
right?
Patty Mills dropping 40.
Patty Mills is dropping 40. Like, it's similar to Summer League where, like, it's easy to confirm your bias here. If you see something you don't like from Giddy, it's like, oh, well, look, they're leaving him wide open in the corner. Of course he's going to, like, miss that three or make that three or whatever. Sure. Whatever confirms your bias. If he scores, 17 points and has 8 rebounds and 7 assists, it's like, well, look at the numbers that he's going to be able to put up. Like, I think there's some truth in all of it. I think you're not really able to take anything substantial from any of it either because it's just not the same. Like, you can play against the NBA, but we also watched Carly Jones really struggle to, like, get into the lane and make layups at the NBA level. And he was the G League MVP, and then he was dominating against Team USA. So it's just, like, you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's obviously nice to see him play well, but there are times where he's being completely left alone on the other side of the court, and he's just by himself, and they're giving him shots. And I think that is something that probably hurts you in the NBA a little bit more than in this international game because of the 3-second rule. So I don't know. It's nice to see him playing well. Some of the, like, passes that he's able to make and, like, just watching how creative a player he is, the inbounds passes, the creativity, getting up the floor, getting into the paint, like, that's all good stuff that you want to see. But I just don't know that it directly translates to anything at the NBA level other than look at some of the stuff he can do.
Let me simplify it. What percentage of stock do you put in what you see from Josh Giddey during this?
I don't know, like 15 or 20%.
Okay. You?
Yeah, I mean, probably around the same, but I think that maybe what Bulls fans are looking at when they see Giddy playing with his Team Australia teammates, and, he was talking about that. There was a little interview clip of him on ESPN after that exhibition game against USA. He's saying, USA team has been thrown together. Australia, a lot of these other countries, we have our cores that have been together for years. Right. Bulls fans saw that version of Giddy again as a guy who got a lot of touches for Australia and was sort of, being a floor general, being, a point guard of sorts and finding great looks for his teammates in transition, his crafty passing that we all are aware of, and saying we kind of lost that version or, forgot about that version of Giddy, whose role was significantly diminished on an OKC team that went a different direction offensively with the rise of MVP, SGA, and all the other, wonderful, talented pieces they had, Jalen Williams and all that. So maybe there's, like, a little bit of optimism trying to be bloomed from Bulls fans of, like, this version of Josh Giddey, I think, is the one that AK was obsessed with and wanted to trade for.
That's a great point.
And I think that's also why I think there are people who are really down on the Josh Giddey trade. Because
of this?
It's easy to see what he can do with the ball in his hands. Right. He can put up 18, 7, and 8. That's great. But, like, the problem is, does that lead to winning at the NBA level? And if not, and he doesn't have the ball in his hands, now you're looking at an OKC Thunder team that has better players, and he doesn't fit into that. So I think it kind of goes both ways, where, like, you look at players like, these kind of heliocentric, I would say it's like the myth of the heliocentric star, right? You have players like LeBron and prime James Harden and Luka Doncic who are like, and Trae Young, everything revolves around me. Sure. There's 4 guys who can space, or there's a big who sets screens and rolls hard and I throw lobs to them. But really, it's give me the ball every possession, and I will run a pick and roll, or I will isolate, and I will make a decision on this play.
Right.
And it looks great when it works, right? It's LeBron James winning 4 or 5 championships, whatever he has. Sure. It's Luka Doncic getting to the finals. It's James Harden winning multiple MVPs. And even then, it's so difficult to win at the highest level when you play that way. Sure. In order to do that, you have to be so ungodly good at basketball to where it's just such a high bar that it's almost not worth playing that way. And I think that's part of the issue that we had with DeRozan over the last couple of years was, like, he was incredible, but even as good as he wasn't good enough to make the Bulls a playoff team, let alone like a championship caliber team. And so now you bring in another player like Giddy, who has a similar flaw in his game. And again, I'm not saying Giddy can't get better. He's 21 years old. I think he will improve in certain areas, but he has the same flaw. It's like Ben Simmons, for example, where it's like you put the ball in his hands because if you don't have the ball in his hands, he can be really bad. But when you put the ball in his hands, how good is he really? And how good is he making you as a team? And that's the question. I understand the criticism there, and I understand why people are concerned about that. But I also think he can still add a lot of value because he's supremely talented as a passer. He can be an extra, make the extra pass, keep the ball moving. He can attack and get downhill. But at the end of the day, if teams aren't guarding him, then you're playing 4-on-5. No matter how good he is, that's impossible to win.
So Rob just kind of brought up something similar in the comments, saying the hope is Giddy with these Bulls players. Can he possibly help peak their potential? So, Dave, it's not necessarily just about how much better can Josh Giddey, the individual, 3-layer threat be on the offensive end, but can he make his teammates better? And can you get additional steps of we've never seen this version of Patrick Williams, for example.
Yeah.
And look what happens when he plays with Josh Giddey.
Yeah, and that is exactly what I kind of wanted to bring up. And also, I will not let you besmirch the name of DeMar DeRozan. How dare you, sir?
It's not a besmirch.
I know.
Far from it.
I'm messing with you, Will. That's what I do.
I like how we also both immediately corrected him when he said LeBron.
Right,
4 or 5.
Four.
Whatever it is.
It's 4. It's 4.
Should be 3.
It should be. But Josh Giddey, and I love the point you made that whatever you're looking for, you're kind of going to see from Josh Giddey. If you're looking for him to be that dominant, put up near triple doubles, you'll see it. If you're looking for him to be like a dude who can't shoot and control a lot of things on the team because he's not great defensively and things like, you're going to see it. Watching him in these Olympics, I agree with you on the 15 or 20%. Because I put a little stock in it, but I think that's as much as you can put in these things right here. Because of the guys that you mentioned, like a Patty Mills going crazy on these guys. Or who's my man, Evan Fournier, going insane, you know what I mean, on these teams out here. Mm-hmm. So I put stock in it, but just not a ton of it. But he can play. I think that's the bottom line of all of this. He can play, and he wants to. He's competitive. You can see when he's out there playing for this squad that he really wants to win these games out here playing. So when he puts up 17, 9, and 8, keep going down that stat sheet because you'll get the turnovers and see he gave up 7. You know what I mean? You'll see that as well. So you're going to get those things from Josh Giddey this year. He's going to be putting up those Hakeem numbers as far as turnovers are concerned. So instead of 11 blocks, you might get 11 turnovers from Josh Giddey. That's a great point you brought up about how he can affect other players on this Bulls team, because that's where it's really going to matter. I feel like that's where the bread is buttered. Mm-hmm. Like guys like Lonzo Ball, you were like, okay, who else is he affecting on the squad out here? We know how good he is, but who else can he affect on the squad? He affected everything on the floor as far as how it went for the Bulls. Can Josh Giddey make Patrick Williams a little bit better player? Will he affect Kobe White in his game? Will Ayo Dosunmu play off of him a little bit better? We'll see. What does Matis look like? You know what I'm saying, with this guy right here? Will they be in transition doing their thing? Those are the questions that need to be asked and will be answered also this season when we watch Josh Giddey, because he will have the ball in his hands on multiple occasions running the offense for the Bulls. So don't get high and don't get low. Just be fun, which is right in the middle of this. Fun bad is the shirt that you need. Shout out CHGO.
I think, a season of fun bad while the Bulls figure out what their next move is with this young core is one thing, and it's fine. Yeah. I think that the heels of that, and I know it's something that's already on your mind too, Will, because you've written about it. It's like, okay, maybe we're going to see Giddy have a season where he does his, flirting with a triple-double every night kind of, NBA routine that went bye-bye in OKC. 17, 7, and 7. Bulls fans keep throwing that out there. Woodage84 in the comments just threw that out there. Okay, great.
If you get the turnover,
then he and his agent are going to take those numbers to the negotiating table when his contract expires in a year.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about how much money are you paying Josh Giddey because he brought you those stats, but how much more will it lead to wins compared to how many wins it leads you in the 24-25 season?
I have a bunch more thoughts about that. But I know we got to go to it.
That's a big worry for another day. I'm just
let's get into it. He got thoughts.
That dark, ominous road is always lurking.
Yeah,
we
that's
have
the
to
road
talk
Will
about
lives
it
on
every day.
No, Will lives on that road right there. He's always driving down that road. All right. I can't wait to see what he got to say. I'm excited.
I mean, he's driving down that road or the mathematics road.
Oh, fair. Oh.
Talking about roulette table mathematical anomalies. 0.074%.
His brain, you just watched it break in real time. It was the best.
Unreal. Still plenty more ahead on CHGO Bulls, including $7 billion development project.
What?
Bulls telling Jerry to sell a team? What? Stick around. But first,
beer. Beer is what's first and what's middle and what's last.
Oh,
Coors Light. What Matt has in his hands right there.
Chill.
Between work, social media, and the choices life throws our way, it's no wonder we're more worked up. Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing a chill mindset. Why not? Why not turn that rained out barbecue into the Will to Go Gottlieb and Modest Buzelis 85th annual karaoke house party?
He owes me now because he didn't come to my party.
That's a flex, ladies and gentlemen. Joey too. Or after a tough loss, settle scores with the ice cold peace offering. Make the choice to choose chill, then reach for a cold Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment. Because when those mountains turn blue, oh yeah, you know what to do. It's as cold as the Rockies. Cold lager, cold filtered, cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace that chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a cold Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Hurricanes. Make the most of those times to choose chill and choose Coors Light. Get it delivered straight to your door via Instacart by going to CHGO Basketball. It goes like, I got flash. CHGO Basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Pew! Just a fresh reminder to sign up to become a CHGO diehard if you aren't one already.
Yeah.
All of the fun events we do, the Kickoff Classic. Yesterday, we got another Kickoff Classic coming up at the back end of August.
Golf outings.
Whether it's that, CHGO Bears CHGO Bears tailgates, first of which is September 8th, right around the corner.
Right there.
Bears football is so freaking close.
Right there.
Our Bulls and Hawks takeovers at the UC, which are a lot of fun. You get discounts on most of our ticketed events. Of course, also that 20% discount every time you shop at the CHGO merch locker. Stay tuned. Hopefully, we're gonna drop a certain Bulls rookie related piece of merch before the season starts. And you can pick that one as your free shirt that you get when you sign up, plus that awesome Die Hard care package that you get in the mail.
Yes.
Plus, of course, the best of the best when it comes to the content, the journalism, the coverage of all of your favorite Chicago teams from our crew here at CHGO, including a lot of the stuff that Will to Go Gottlieb has been doing for us. A lot of his draft coverage was for diehards only. A lot of the stuff that we did out in Summer League that he wrote, that I wrote, was for diehards only.
Yes.
I mean, there's perks on perks. What are you waiting for? Shout out to some of the newest people in the Cool Kids Club. We had a big crew of new diehard signups over the past week. You ready for it?
Come on.
Julia, Jay, Scott, Matt again, Kevin, Josh, John, Kyle, Casey, Nathan, Dave, Scott, Dave again, Patrick, Nancy, John, Kevin, Terry, and Jason. That's a week's worth of diehards right there.
Welcome.
Everybody making a smart choice to become a diehard.
Right.
Pennies a day, y'all, for an annual membership.
In your mind, too.
For the best of the best here at CHGO. What are you waiting for? Sign up!
The two names you named twice were Matt and Dave.
Oh, double dose.
I mean, we're day one diehards.
Come on, Wills.
Come on.
Wait, was there a Joey in there?
I don't think so.
There was no Joey in there.
I'll tell you what there is.
Come on,
though.
Joey's.
There's a shirtless wonder sitting outside. Shout out to him. Out there relaxing with the feet up.
In that zero gravity chair.
Oh, with the feet up, looking all cool and smooth, baby. Shout out Shirtless Wonder. Appreciate you, friend.
All right, gentlemen. So moving along, big news that dropped from the Reinsdorf and Wirtz families earlier today.
Yeah.
It dropped from the Bulls team account, Blackhawks, the United Center account. Basically, the news is this. The 1901 project, spanning an estimated 10 years, is a long-term, multi-phase development that includes housing, retail, entertainment, and public open space on 55-plus acres of privately owned land. Set to begin in the spring of next year, the first phase of the 1901 project includes a 6,000-seat theater-style music hall, one-of-a-kind elevated park. It's literally a park that's like built on rafters. I don't fully understand how the grass grows there. Reimagined parking system, improved pedestrian experience, hotel and retail programming.
Yes.
And this is a private investment for transformative $7 billion development on Chicago's west side. Yes. Celebrating Chicago's unique spirit, says the website, spearheaded by the Reinsdorf and Wirtz families. The project will transform the west side with a jolt of new development, bridging neighborhoods and enhancing opportunities for residents, businesses, and all of Chicago.
Yeah.
Big Dave, what do you think about this?
So I had a couple thoughts when this first came. My very first thought was, who the hell is paying for this? And then I saw that it was privately funded, and I was like, oh, I don't give a damn anymore. That's great. Thank you. All right. And then my next thought,
skeptical because Jerry was asking the city of Chicago to pay for a new White Sox ballpark.
See, this
like
is why you're
like a month ago.
Literally, I was about to say that. I was just about to say that.
Sorry, I mean
right in my brain. Got to steal it from me. This is how bad Pet grows, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna get your chance to get your destroy on. Like, don't worry, you're coming. But he's right. That's exactly what my other thought was what he just said right there. What the hell are you asking for money for? You usually got $7 million privately funded. And the other thing that stood out was it was about 10 years, I think it was going to take to do something like this. What's that going to look like? That's going to be crazy.
Can we fix the Kennedy first?
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, I have more Chicago thoughts than I have thoughts on something like this. You know what I mean? I'm worried about the roads, you know what I mean? The pothole and all this other stuff. Can we get that straight? But it's privately funded. You can do what you want with your money when it's privately funded. I don't mind it. It looks cool. It looks great. The Bulls are awesome at showcasing rollouts and things like that, like what we want to do. So it looks great. It looks really cool. I'm wondering what a parking is. I'm sure it'll be something that we aren't even thinking about, like underground or something like that, like something cool like that. But bottom line, it's your money. You're welcome to do with it as you please, as long as it's improving the community as it says it's doing like that. And it looks like that's what it'll do over the next 10 years. Have at it. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for a while now that like that area could really use a facelift, and I think
that's such a will to go Gottlieb answer right there.
Why is that?
Like you're just walking around, you're like, you know what? This could use a little facelift.
Well, like you
right
look
there.
at this area and you see, I mean, it's parking lots and it's like not a lot going on, and it's like in the middle of the city. Mm-hmm. It's an extension of the West Loop, which is obviously blown up as a neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, Fulton Market, just one neighborhood north of here. It's just like, I was hanging out there last night. It's freaking insane.
Flex. And there's like nothing there except for parking lots.
Yeah.
And like, I just think that they could, if they invested time and money into this, make it something really cool where there's other things going on. So I thought it was a really cool project. I'm glad to know that it's going to be privately funded, but I think this could be really good for the city. Obviously, like they're touting the amount of jobs that they're going to create. I'm not really sure like what the long-term
big numbers
deal with that is. Like, are these just like construction jobs during, I mean, it's great if they're doing that, but like, are these going to be longer term jobs, or is it just like the jobs that actually get this thing off the ground? Mm-hmm. Either way, I think this is really smart. I think it will help develop that neighborhood in a good way around the teams. And you see what they've done in Wrigleyville. Like, it's got its pros and cons. It comes with its costs, but I think having more stuff to do there, having like more new things, community, like places to eat, I think it's good development. So, and I don't think it's not displacing people either, right? Because there's nobody there to begin with. It's just parking lots. So, I think it's really cool. I don't really know too much of the details about it.
So the website boasts that there will be over 1,000 transit-oriented affordable housing units as part of this development project.
Yeah, people will be living there as well.
That's great. Like, there should be
60,000
construction,
63,000 construction jobs created, 12,000 operational jobs created.
I think in general, you mentioned it, but like in general, this is something that Chicago needs to work on, is like building up and developing and rehabbing parts of the city, because there's so much of it that's just like, it looks like it's like the in-between neighborhoods places, but it's like big enough where you could really put some cool like breweries there and like parks, and it doesn't just have to be like a concrete parking lot, you know, like there's so much more that this city can offer. And I think if you invest like into that and into the people there, it can be a really cool place, or built around two of its most important sports teams.
And let me say that also, like people who want to move in there, you could be creating a whole new kind of sports fan as well.
Yeah.
A sports fan that's a fan of the Blackhawks or the Bulls or both could chomping at the bit, you know what I'm saying, to make a bid on one of those places to actually stay there, because maybe they're a season ticket holder, or maybe they're just somebody who just loves being around that atmosphere. So there are many opportunities for them to do some real good, as you just stated, Will, in this situation. But I'm going to pass this over to Matt Peck, because I'm here to hear what Matt Peck
one other
has
thing
to
before
say.
you go.
Oh, please.
One thing I read with it was that there could be like an extension of public transportation to that area. I think that would be great.
That would be cool.
And then the other thing is like, this is going to take someone a lot smarter than me to like really figure out the pros and cons of all of this. Like, I can read this website and I can see what they're trying to sell, and I can look at that and say it's a good idea. But I'm sure there's stuff that like I'm missing or that I won't be able to understand about a lot of this that would be a negative or could be a drawback. But just from what I'm able to gather about this, and like if you guys know that stuff or have stuff to point out, please send it my way, because I just would like to be as informed as possible.
They're doing it.
But yeah, I just think the idea of developing and making that area more livable, more exciting, more lively is a really positive thing.
It's a great lively, because even after the game, I'm sure they want to keep that finance in-house. Or, you know, a big Bulls win or a big Blackhawks win.
People don't really hang out
leave.
in the, Madhouse neighborhood after the game.
They're
Because there's nothing there to do.
This gives you a chance.
It's just a mad traffic dash to get out of that neighborhood.
This gives you a chance. So I think they're probably thinking and watching a place like Wrigleyville and kind of what they're doing over there. And like, oh, we could probably do something like that here. Like, because there have been many a times I didn't feel like leaving after a win like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to hang out, and I would just go to the pizza place on the corner.
And the Billy Goat Tavern can only hold so many people in it.
You know what I'm saying? So I would just do that. You know what I mean? And just hang out Billy Goat or the pizza spot.
Yeah.
I would see and hang out there. So, no, this is a good opportunity. This is smart. And it don't cost me nothing. So all of that is great. And I appreciate
we've seen
those
too,
things.
like when they were doing Bulls Fest, I don't believe they're doing it this upcoming season, but
no, the
last couple of
DNC
years,
canceled Bulls Fest.
That's right. That's right. But the last couple of years, like people have shown up for that stuff. Like people want to go hang out there. There's just nothing to do.
Right.
So I think giving
that's why we've been doing like the pregame, hangouts, the get a beer with our takeover crews in this neighborhood, and then taking a bus over there.
Right. We probably, that's a great point. I didn't even think of that. Oh man. You just opened up a whole new can of worms. Shout out Matt Peck, ladies and gentlemen. That is a brilliant thought right there. Not just a hat rack.
Sorry, Will. What was
that was it. I mean, I just think, like, in general, I'm sure I want to like hedge this by saying I'm sure there are things that there will be costs associated with this, whether it's financial or socioeconomic or whatever. But I think in general, the idea of developing this area could be a really good thing.
Well, and really cool the Bears trying to convince, like, hey, let's give the Soldier Field area a facelift and do all that, and it's going to create all of this money from new tourism, and it's going to invest all these jobs in the city of Chicago. And like, they're big numbers that they throw out there as far as the revenue it'll bring the city, the amount of jobs it'll create, and there's always a healthy and warranted dose of skepticism when we hear things like this. And like, well, how real is that? Our guy, Fish in the comments is pointing out, I think he was talking about the Hotel Zachary across from Wrigley that they built. He said lost $80 million. I don't know if that's true. But like, I feel like that may have been the initial loss when you build that. But look, I don't live in Wrigleyville anymore. I thankfully live a little further west. But when I lived in Wrigleyville and all that turnover was happening, and then like Hotel Zachary and all the shops and restaurants around that started opening up, and then the ones on the south side of that Addison and Clark intersection, east of that on the southeast corner, they redid all of those. Like, it's bustling. It's bustling in a way that it wasn't before. Yeah, it is making money. If the Bulls and the Blackhawks, ownership groups manage to pull off something similar to the West Side neighborhood where the United Center is, great. Yeah, it might take 10 years.
It might. No, it's going to take a while. And shout out to what Strick was just saying. Right, people can dispute me on this, but gentrification, yes, absolutely. That's exactly what's going to be going on in that area. We'll see how it spreads out to the other spots that are around that area as well. But you better believe, who's going to be getting those places, Strick. You already know how that's going down. That is exactly how it's going to happen. He mentioned, shout out calling for mentioning the 6,000 seat music hall. So other concerts and things like that could be taking place. Probably not as big of concerts that could be in the United Center, but then that's kind of dope. You know what I mean? Like having just a center there and then having a United Center concert. So for bigger artists, doing their thing like that. There's so much potential with this. And why I don't mind it is because it's your money. So you can do it how you feel. I can have these ideas, and maybe their ideas can be better suited because it's what they want to do, because it's their paper, it's their control, it's how they want to do it and how they want to feel from it. But I'm excited to see it. It's going to take a long time because this is Chicago. Oh, yeah. It's going to take a while, you know what I'm saying, for it to do. like that. But the idea is there. I appreciate the idea. I think it's a good idea that can actually work if they take their time and do it right.
The other thing is, I know just from experience, like when the Warriors moved from Oakland into San Francisco, they really did a good job. Yep. To Chase Center in San Francisco, they did a really good job of building out like this Mission Bay neighborhood around it. And it was kind of like an extension from Oracle Park where the Giants play. And it just like, I think that kind of development is good. Obviously, yeah, the gentrification element of it, that's kind of what I was saying with like, people aren't going to be displaced in the immediate area around it because there's no homes there. But obviously that's going to change the demographic of people who want to live there and who do live there. And that could obviously have some effect on things. So like I said, there's going to be pros and cons with it, but I think in general, that area really, and just from a business standpoint around the teams, like I think that can help. Like you said, people want to go out after the games, like keep that in that neighborhood, develop more restaurants and bars, and like keep people in that area and keep it like safe and exciting and lively.
And so many people in the comments are saying, well, like what the heck about parking now? If you're driving to the United Center, maybe from out in the far-reaching suburbs or from somewhere else.
That's a Chicago statement.
Oh, of course.
Parking.
Dude,
what's going on with the parking?
We just freaked out on a show last week about how they added some meters to some of the free streets in our freaking office neighborhood.
That's why I love this city, bro.
Did you see? There's a car with a boot on it out there.
Already. I saw it.
Racine.
Already. Parking on the meter side.
Hey, Chicago. Come on now. But there is some mention of basically just reorganizing the entire parking system for the United Center as part of this development project. Which
you can build up.
You can build up, you can build down, like put a giant wall of parking garage floors somewhere.
Correct.
And please, I mean, like just fix it because the random parking lots all over the place, and then the rideshare pickup zone system they have now.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Joey, did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say you got to be careful when you're doing something like this and you're making the standard to be Wrigleyville, which I don't think any of us were doing, but just to not set that. Like Wrigleyville is really, I think, something that any modern sports team would want to build around their stadium. It's just really the perfect interaction between the game and then the consumer life around it, and just does so much for the business of the team, right? And that happened naturally for the Cubs. It just the way that the neighborhood was built around the stadium, but
they had a neighborhood and stuff going on before,
right. And as the stadium and as the team grew in popularity and became a fixture of the community, the community continued to build around it. So it's not probably going to be exactly like that, but any semblance of that, and that's honestly it's similar to what the Bears are talking about, adding in commercial space. So it would be great. And, I think we talked about it in Vegas, like that area definitely, like it could use some of that. And it's something that like you look at it and it's like, hey, this is a perfect place for something like that, for some more just fun stuff going on. There's stadium right here. There's a lot of open space. And so it should be cool.
When else you have to be careful, Joe? When you're making an announcement from your official team Twitter account about a $7 billion investment and making sure that you got the right link to send all of your fans who are wanting to excitedly read about this $7 billion investment project more details about it. Might want to double check that you got the right link. Because if you missed this today, this is my favorite thing I think that has happened in the entire calendar year of 2024.
The entire year?
Maybe going further back than that. The Bulls team account earlier today put up a tweet with a video showing all of these different renderings about the new revamped $7 billion development or area around the United Center.
Yeah.
And they said in the tweet, read more, with a little arrow, and then there was a link there. And the link was supposed to go to the new website that they have created for what they are calling this the 1901 Project. The link they put in the tweet from the Bulls account just went to 1901projectchicago.com.
Yes.
One problem. That's not the correct website. That is a different website, clearly made within the last 24 hours, when a salty, angry Bulls and or White Sox fan saw the name of the actual site, went to register new domain, and made this site that just says, launching soon, 1901 Project Chicago, sell the team, Jerry. And this link in this Bulls official team account on Twitter was up for hours today. And it is my favorite thing. How are you this dumb? How are you this bad at running a team? I feel bad for whoever works in their social media, like admin offices, probably got a tongue lashing for this today. Sure. Probably feels very embarrassed today. Sure. I don't put it on them. I put it on Jerry and the Bulls because this is so them. When I saw this, I was like, wait, oh, it's not even up and running yet? They don't even have the site up and running yet? Then why put the link in there? Mm-hmm. And then I actually figured out that it was the wrong link. And it was a fan trolling them with a fake website that just was begging Jerry to sell the team. Also, if you are that fan who made this fake website, tell me. I'm going to buy you a drink. I'm going to buy you a CHGO shirt of your choice. Whatever you want. Come forward. Or if you want to remain anonymous, I respect that. Hit me up in my DMs. But this person deserves to be applauded just like all the way around because that is excellent trolling. And the Bulls, how do you fall for it? How do you not know what your website is for a $7 billion project that you're unveiling today? Oh, we forgot the in the website. We forgot the word the. Oh, shucks. Oh, we got a little egg on our face. Classic Bulls. God, I love it so much. They suck at everything.
I like how you blame Jerry for something that clearly has zero to do with it.
Of course it was
Jerry.
Jerry.
Like,
he definitely typed in the link and sent the tweet himself.
Yeah, Jerry, what's a website?
Right, he doesn't even know what Twitter is.
The hell is a template? What the hell are you talking about?
Is this like some kind of new age telegram?
So my question is, Matt Peck, where were you
Dude,
earlier today?
I did not make the fake website.
Okay.
I did not make it.
Someone
else on Twitter accused me of being the one.
I don't think
it
it's
was
far-fetched.
not me.
I'm just saying. I don't think it's far-fetched.
I just respect it and I applaud it. It was not me, guys. I swear to God.
You just championed it, but you had nothing. All right. It's a fair question.
Outside of his nieces, that is the most joy that Matt Peck has felt in years.
You're not wrong. I love when they make themselves look dumb by just trying to do the simplest things.
Yeah.
Because you know what? They deserve it. They deserve to get laughed at. Freaking talking about 39 and 43, 40 and 42. I need this in my life.
I see.
I need to be able to point and laugh at their stupidity. And it's nice when it's a variety. Instead of just stupidity about, hey, you're running your basketball operations poorly. Yeah. Because that's more frustration than like, ha-ha, bad. This is ha-ha bad. And it's refreshingly ha-ha bad.
You were so happy.
I love it. The fact that they left that link up for forever today.
Did.
How?
A few
How
hours.
do you not immediately, right? They did eventually. Someone, like, as they were getting trolled all over Twitter, was like, oh, we should probably take that tweet down. And they did. Yeah. But not until everybody got plenty of screenshots of that other fake website telling the Bulls this. The Bulls tweeted to a link that said, sell the team, Jerry. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, my God. I love it so much.
Did you throw the hat out of joy?
Stupid.
You threw it out of joy. I've never seen a joyous hat throw. From you, Matt. Congratulations.
Here's the other part of this. And I don't want to dive too deep down a politics rabbit hole. We don't really talk politics on this show.
All right.
But wherever you are on the political spectrum, there's a thing going around leading up to this very crucial November presidential election.
True.
That has the word project in it and then a sequence of 4 numbers.
Yeah.
How, when you are coming up with the name for this giant, fancy $7 billion development plan, when you're spitballing ideas for names of the project, how do you land on this?
I don't know anything about Project 2025.
How do you land on this at this moment in time? It's
very extreme.
In the American culture. How are you like, 1901 project. Yep, sounds great. Doesn't ring a bell anywhere else. What are you doing?
You know what's funny? I didn't even think of that one. My mind went to the 1619 project. That's where my mind went to as well. If y'all don't know what that is, shame on you. But look that up. There's a documentary on it, all that stuff. But yeah, that's what my mind went to. That's where your mind went. That's what mine went. I didn't even think until right now. I didn't even think of that right there as well. So that's 2 of those things that would be like, might bring up something right there people are thinking about. it's fine that they don't care about it. Names are weird. You know what I mean? Stuff is weird. Of course, your time can be weird like that, whatever. But it is funny. And I'm not against humor. It's hard for me to be against funny. And it's funny. It is. It's just laugh at yourself. It's okay. Laugh at yourself. It's not a big deal. We'll move on from it. But just laugh at it, man. And hopefully you make what you're doing just look really, really cool when it actually comes out within the next 10 years as it goes.
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add. That's real.
It just brought me so much joy.
He was so happy. He was so happy. Look at him. He's like a little 70-year-old right about now, man.
They told Jerry to sell the team.
Just the joy.
Seriously, I want to know who this anonymous hero is.
Yeah, you do?
Do they wear a bat cape?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a cave?
Yeah.
A Batmobile, perhaps? I didn't even put the bat signal up.
Yeah,
and
you did
some
not.
brave soul out there, a disgruntled, but so creative Bulls and or White Sox fan said, hey, I got a fun idea. They're doing this new thing. Oh, there's a website called the1901project.com.
Yeah.
But again, even how did they get to that one when they were putting the link in the tweet? How?
The funny part,
They made the website.
I was talking to Mario about this. Shout out CHGO Blackhawks. I was talking to Mario about this, and and he was like, a lot of people were reading as far as Blackhawks fans, like, oh yeah, it sounds cool. It sounds nice. Whatever. He said, and as they kept going down the comments, they saw just a bunch of rhinestone stuff. He was like, oh, other people feel other ways about this. I see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's another side to it as well. This guy right here. That's how they feel, man. But I'm okay with the project. Yeah, it should have been named differently, maybe. If I was in on the meeting, would I have told them to do it differently? Yeah.
How did no one raise their hand in the meeting and be like, maybe we don't?
Yeah,
maybe we don't pick this name.
Just don't put project behind it. You'll be fine. You'll be okay about that. But they made the move, they made the decision, and then they made the mistake. You know what I mean? Of the actual website. And like you said, it was over 2 hours.
Yeah.
That thing was up. And then Matt Peck was just in his joyous place because when they finally took it down, he literally was tweeting everything as it happened. So when they finally took it down and it said the post is Finn deleted, that said Finn.
A wonderful exercise in failing to use social media.
Oh, man.
It was brilliant. Also, shout out to our pal Doug Tonis, longtime member of the Bulls Potting fam.
Correct.
Because it was nice to see him chime in, but I'm also a little bit mad at him because he quote tweeted it and added the Bulls and said, hey, you guys might want to take a look at where this link goes.
Yeah. What's wrong with saying that?
Shortly after that, it was taken down. Like, they somehow still didn't know. I wasn't like tagging them and laughing, ha ha ha. I was just doing it in my own little bubble.
Evil way. There was no ha.
And I told Doug, I was like, dude, Doug, don't ruin the fun, bro. No. Like, let's see how long this tweet stays up while they continue to embarrass themselves.
He honestly said something I would have said. I would have told them the same damn thing. Hey, bro.
But that truncates the possible time that we can point and laugh at Jared.
This didn't stop any of your laughter. Look at you.
Maybe if it was still up, more people would have seen it.
You don't care. Joey, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I did. I just created my ultimate fantasy, which is that the show ends and Matt receives a DM from Grayson Allen, and he says, I was the person who made the fake website. Do you still want to buy me a beer? Will you still get me a beer?
Would you buy Grayson Allen a beer?
No.
You wouldn't buy Captain Dipshit a beer if he was
He said, you hate me, but I did this for you. How do you feel now? How do you feel now,
enemy
Matt?
of my enemy is my friend.
I would buy 2 beers.
Okay.
If I was going to sit down with Captain Dipshit, Grayson Allen, I would pay for both of them.
Sure.
I would pour one on his head and then drink the other one myself. So technically the one I pour on his head, I'm buying for him.
Would this be before or after you drink yours?
Oh, I would drink mine in victory.
Okay.
After pouring
so
his
you would
on his
do
head.
that, then actually drink the beer.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, I understand. So I'm just waiting for the time when the handcuffs get put on you for pouring your beer on an NBA basketball player. All right. I got you. I'm learning. I'm just learning out here, man. I'm just learning.
Our guy, Rob, it was not me saying great misdirection.
I'm just saying, man.
It wasn't me. That's why I am genuinely offering right now. If it was you and you don't want the credit publicly, I understand that. Come find me. I will get you a CHGO t-shirt of your choice. I'll get you a CHGO pint glass. I'll get you a beer to fill that pint glass because you are a goddamn hero.
He will do that.
Real heroes.
He will do that.
Not all of them wear capes. Some of them get fake domain names and then somehow get the Bulls to use the fake website links instead of the real ones.
Some of them wear hats and then throw them.
That was the most delicious thing that I haven't physically eaten in as long as I can remember.
That's saying a lot.
It was delicious.
This is Meat Peck over here.
We are out of time for today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't done it yet. We really appreciate it. Make sure you also subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Sign up to become a diehard if you haven't already. Shout out to everybody we named earlier in today's show. The new huge crew of people who joined over the last week or so. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. We're pushing back our shows this week because of other scheduling things we got juggling around here. So 5 p.m. Central again tomorrow, and then through the week. Until then, read Goat Stuff, allchgo.com. Will_Gottlieb is where you can find him on Twitter. Big Day Bow, BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Our panel producer on the controls, the one and only Young Spathis. He's at Joey Spathis. Do you think Joey did it? Maybe Joey did it. Maybe Troll Joe did it.
Oh, Baby Joey.
It does have.
This espionage.
It reeks of Baby Joe. We got to get Baby Joe on the horn.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Well, it's all right. Y'all tomorrow, Bulls Nation. We love you. Have a great night. See you, Red. Be good.
Hug your family. Love y'all. Peace.
Y'all see